My name is Joann Santos, student number DY21695. Our report is about ASX corporate governance, and I'm here to discuss the related principles and identify and explain each of the 8 Council's principles and recommendations under the said ASX. Our group will discuss the impacts and influence of the said corporate governance in entities listed in ASX. To mention, the 8 principles under ASX corporate governance are as follows. Principle number 1. Lay solid foundations for management and oversight. Principle number 2. Structure the board to add value. Principle number 3. Act ethically and responsibly. Principle number 4. Safeguard integrity in corporate reporting. Principle number 5. Make timely and balanced disclosure. Principle number 6, respect the rights of security holders. Principle number 7, recognize and manage risk. And lastly, principle number 8, remunerate fairly and responsibly. Here are all the 8 principles under ASX corporate governance. And the next topic will be discussed by my group member.
Hello everyone, my name is Apurva Gupta and today I am going to discuss with you the definition of corporate governance and its effects on the value of company. Corporate governance is a way of directing, controlling and organizing a company. It is a system in which the companies are professionally directed with the help of its principles. Its principles include independence, fairness, accountability, transparency and responsibility. It is influenced by the parties that are involved in management such as the creditors, shareholders, employees, governments and the directors. There is a correlation between the firm's value and corporate governance. For example, Cadbury's defined corporate governance as a way of directing and controlling the company. Board of directors are responsible for its proper implementation. Managers try to increase the assets and choose the projects which will help them personally. But with the help of corporate governance, we can control this and help them to choose the project which will increase the net present value of the company. Hence, at end we can say that corporate governance is important if the company wants to increase its value. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Tek Raj Sharma. My student ID is EMV22896. Today I'm going to explain how full adoption of 8 ASX corporate governance influences risk assessment process. First of all, risk is related to the future event or situation that provide opportunities or create an exposure for the company. And risk assessment process is the process of evaluating the potential risk that may be involved in a project activity or undertakings. Principle 7 of the ASX corporate governance describes the risk assessment process and its recognition and management. In ASX, every company has formed risk committee and it performs the various functions related to the risk assessment. Some of them are monitoring management performance against the entity risk management framework, such as cybersecurity, sustainability, climate change, data breaches. Another important role of risk assessment process is it reviews any incident involving the fraud or breakdown of entity risk control. It also oversees the entity insurance program having regard to the entity business and the insurable risk associated with its business. A listed company describes if it has an internal audit function, how the function is structured and what role it performs. If it doesn't have internal audit function, that fact and the process it employs for evaluating and continually improving the effectiveness of its governance, risk management, and internal control process. That's how the risk assessment process influences the corporate governance. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Faisal. My student ID is SK029994. I will be talking briefly about the audit approach and how the ASX corporate governance influences it when it is fully adopted by a corporation. Due to time limitation, I can only talk briefly about it. The report is going to include everything more in details. The ASX corporate governance had got some principles when it is fully adopted by a corporation will enforce integrity, it will enforce being ethical, it will encourage acting lawfully, responsibly, and disclosing information to the right parties at the right time. Now, when these things happen, the information that is provided by the organization is somewhat adequate and could be verified by the auditor much more easily. And also you have an internal control systems that is somewhat reliant and more fully functional. To give you an example, for disclosure of information to the right party at the right time, which could be the stakeholders and the potential investors, what it will do, they will have the information to look at and decide whether to invest more money into or not to invest. And also the stakeholders, who could be the directors, they will have a look at the report and they'll decide, well, whether it's the right time to instigate a performance review, and which will help the company performing better. Now these things will make the whole auditing approach a lot efficient, a lot more easier to perform. That is it from my end. A little bit more in details about the strategies will be talked by my colleague who's going to come in next. Thank you so much.
Hello everyone, this is Shanawaz Ahmed. My ID number is PFEC2163. So today I'm going to speak about the audit strategy in our assignment. So at first I will speak about the definition of audit strategy. So the audit strategy generally means the combination of audit approach to be used, resources management and allocations, timing of audit, and the way how the audit engagement is managed. For example, the auditor will use the risk-based audit approach or top-down approach to conduct audit assignment. Another example of audit strategy is auditor just engaged with the new audit clients and they decided not to rely on internal control financial statement by deciding not to test of control. They just go for a substantive test. This is how audit strategy means. Audit strategy normally identifies and set after audit objectives, but before or at the same time of the audit plan to be is performed. Managing time frame of audit assignment is also a part of the audit strategy. The right audit strategy could lead to minimize auditor risks, meet the audit deadlines, and using audit resources efficiently. The objectives and the purpose of audit strategy is to set the scope of the audit engagement. Second one is to establish the time frame of the audit. Third one is the manage and arrange of the audit effectively and correctly. The fourth one is to set the right audit approach, and the last one is documentation about the audit methodology. This is all from me right now, and yeah, thank you everyone so much. Bye.
Hi, this is Manesh Timalsena and my student ID is KTM2115. Today I am gonna explain how these 8 ASX corporate governance principle influence the audit evidence. First of all, audit evidence is the information or data used by the auditor for the audit works in order to conclude whether the financial statements are prepared or not in the company. There are 8 ASX corporate governance principles which was already described by my friend earlier. It talks about fair remunerations, right of the shareholders, risk management, make timely and balanced disclosure, structure the board to add the value, foundation for management and outright, etc. First of all, I would like to give the example regarding the fair remunerations. In the ASX listing companies, every details of the remunerations are outlined in the remuneration report or the annual report. So viewing those annual remuneration report, auditor can easily prepare the financial statement regarding salary or remuneration which is provided to the shareholder or other employees in the company. Another example would be ethical decision. For the ASX listing company, ethics such as respect, honesty, integrity are the core philosophical values and are also included in the annual report or the code of conduct. Another example would be structure the board to add the value. It all explains about board compositions. That means the name, director name, and the biographical structure, biographic details are provided in the annual report informations. Another example would be timely and balanced disclosure. In the ASS listing company, the company will immediately disclose publicly any information, and all the informations to the ASX is posted to the on the company website. And the annual report is available on the company website, which can be emailed or posted to the shareholder or the other investors in the company. So viewing those information posted on the company website, the auditor can easily prepare the financial statement in the future. This is how those ASX corporate governance principle influence the audit evidence. Thank you.